Hello, my name is Jessica Flaherty, and I'm going to talk about positive behavior interventions and supports. I want to start by telling you a little bit about PBIS, and then I'm going to wrap it up together in a case study about Meadow Ridge Elementary and their journey with PBIS. So PBIS is a tiered framework. It's designed for providing and analyzing behavior and academic supports in the school setting. It focuses on preventing challenging behaviors by teaching students appropriate behaviors for the classroom, playground, and all areas and activities in the school. This triangle represents the tiers. Tier 1 encompasses foundational supports that are provided to all students in the school. Tier 2 supports target challenging skill areas. This is most often done through group instruction, so it provides students with multiple learning opportunities for challenging skills. And then tier 3 encompasses those intensive individualized supports. So this tier is really personalized, and it makes it rely heavily on formal assessments and data-driven decisions. PBIS works to provide all students, regardless of ability or background, with the services and supports they need. It works to teach appropriate school-wide behaviors in a universal manner, while also providing group and individualized instruction to students in need. PBIS has some really transformational outcomes for all students and for the school culture as a whole. Students make gains in the social and emotional realm, which is beautiful in itself, right? But then they also experience improved academic outcomes, and those two things together can really impact a student's educational journey and experience. PBIS is an evidence-based practice with a solid amount of research backing it. Like most all evidence-based practices, it's a data-driven model. Effective, appropriate PBIS use relies on data collection and analyzation of support implementation. It is important to note that as students move up and down in the tiers, they still all access the supports provided in the lower levels. So all students in the school are provided tier 1 supports. Some of the students are provided tier 2, but they never lose the supports in tier 1, and same with tier 3. Some students receive tier 3, but they always still access tier 1 and tier 2. PBIS can be a core component in building equity-based inclusive school communities. This is some work that is so incredibly important in the world of education right now. So we as educators are aiming to proceed in a way that is culturally sensitive and responsive. As we work to implement PBIS, we want to make sure that we're being sensitive to the issues of culture, race, and ability, and we want to make sure that's reflected in our language and the way that we talk about our school. So now that we've had a little rundown about PBIS as a whole, I want to tell you about Meadow Ridge's journey adopting and implementing PBIS into their school culture. The school was in a time of new leadership, and they took that as an opportunity to take a look at their school practices and structure to determine what was working and what wasn't. And I really feel like one of the most notable things about this experience was that the school's new principal's goal was to open a space for this conversation with the entire school team. So he didn't go in with an agenda or with instructions. Instead, he went in and acknowledged and was seeking the knowledge and expertise of the school educators and the school team. He wanted the staff to work together to co-create the program that they would be responsible for implementing and monitoring. This approach really yields well to establishing a shared mission and a shared responsibility for the success of all students. The journey to a fully implemented PBIS system is not one that happens overnight. That would be nice though. But Meadow Ridge started by identifying one teacher leader that was responsible for assembling a PBIS team. That team represented every grade level, specialist, paraeducator. So they had representation from everyone across the school. The purpose of this team was to draw from a collective pool of knowledge and create a shared sense of responsibility and ownership. They started by establishing a school-wide tier 1 support package that fit their school and their student body needs. They then designed a comprehensive rollout plan that included school-wide PBIS training for all staff, defined and taught school-wide expectations, provided teachers with all lessons needed, outlined video resources, books, and optional lesson plans. This came along with data collection system that would allow for database decision-making along the way. The team then put their attention to creating a reinforcement system. Their system allowed for school-wide reinforcement as well as individualized reinforcement. Teachers and staff tracked reinforcement delivery to ensure that all students were accessing reinforcement. The school continued to modify and problem solve throughout the year. Their school-wide PBIS had a successful first year. Teachers and staff had ownership. The system was a true school system and not an individual classroom management system. And most importantly, the students were engaged in having positive experiences. The data supported the success. From year 1 to year 2, fewer students were accessing tier 2 and 3 interventions. And as a result, they had a solid tier 1. But they're not going to stop there. So now with their tier 1 PBIS system in place, the team has begun researching and learning about tier 2 and 3 interventions and are moving forward on their path to continuous growth and development. To wrap it up, PBIS is an essential component of building an equity-based inclusive school community. It's an evidence-based intervention designed to meet the needs of all students in a school. It focuses on preventing challenging behaviors and teaching students appropriate behaviors for the classroom, playground, and all areas and activities at school. It's no easy task. It requires leadership, buy-in, teaming, and continued effort. Here are some additional resources to learn more about PBIS. If you'd like to learn more about Meadow Ridge's journey, please visit the IPP demonstration site webpage to watch Meadow Ridge's webinar. It's titled PBIS Systems: How to Design and Implement Effective Practices to Reduce Discipline Referrals and Improve Student Behaviors. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope this was helpful. See you again.